no main floor.
When you put that faster music in the main floor, the peoples will understand.
Greetings to our local Cosmos Festival. Please listen to this advice.
Greetings from the electric byway.
Hello seekers and welcome to the Electric Byway channel again. This is our second video and this time we have a special guest, Elvenfolk from Brazil, and she will talk about the Brazilian and South American Psycore scene. So thank you for agreeing to do this interview.
Obrigada pela oportunidade de participar disso.
She told it's a great opportunity and thank you for that.
So this is still a very new channel, but I hope that it will reach many people from around the world who are into many kinds of underground electronic music, especially some harder stuff.
Tranquilo, eu também vou compartilhar aqui no Brasil. Tenho os meus seguidores, vou colocar em todas as minhas redes sociais e aposto que vai chegar aí bastante gente.
She told you she don't have a lot of followers too, but we hope that interview come to a lot of people in the world and everybody can know about that scene.
So tell us a bit about your background first, like what is your musical background? How did you get into all this music?
Bom, eu entendo que produzir Psycore é tipo uma manifestação de arte em alta frequência que mistura uma questão energética com espiritual e acaba formando uma egrégora e é uma manifestação muito bonita de participar e eu tento fazer isso da melhor forma possível para que chegue na inconsciência das pessoas.
So she understand that behind her music have a kind of being who understood how to produce sounds in high frequency, and that kind of manifest is something totally energetic and spiritual. So she tried to do that in the best way possible that comes to the people and the people can feel that energy and that manifest because comes from soul, you know. That's
So before Elvenfolk and Psycore, did you do any other kind of music or is this your first project?
Não, Elvenfolk é o meu primeiro e depois eu tive o B.C.T.CORE.
So Elvenfolk is her first project and the second one is B.C.T.CORE.
Mm-hmm. And for how long have these projects been active?
Desde 2014.
So make 8 years. It started in 2014. She started with that project. That's it. B.C.T.CORE make 3 years. B.C.T.CORE make 3 years.
Okay. And this B.C.T.CORE, it's like a duo, or can you tell more about this group?
Sim, participa Elvenfolk e Nala, que é outro projeto de uma mulher também que mora aqui no sul do país.
So B.C.T.CORE, it's like a duo between Elvenfolk and Nala, another girl who plays experimental Psycore here in Brazil too. And that girl is from south of the Brazil, called Curitiba, do Paraná.
Can you describe the sound of these two projects? Are they kind of similar or are there some differences?
Bom, Elvenfolk ele vem de uma coisa um pouco mais energética e espiritual, enquanto o B.C.T.CORE vem com uma coisa mais politizada e caracterizada de uma forma mais comédia, mais política, sabe?
Okay. So Elvenfolk is focused more in spiritual things and energetic things from Psycore, and B.C.T.CORE is a project focused more in politician scene from here, have more fun in the musics, more kinds, and they make it like a manifest when the buffet's playing too.
Okay, cool. But both is kind of like psycore or darkpsy music.
Psycore e experimental com pouquinho de speedcore.
Tá. E é o BCT que tem o Speedcore.
É, o BCT que tem o speedcore.
So Elvenfolk, it's more focused on Psycore, and B.C.T.CORE, it's Psycore, experimental, and Speedcore.
Okay, nice. So what kind of inspirations do you have for making music for these projects?
Vem muito do metal, hardcore, e tenta trazer um pouco de uma essência mais de música, de teoria musical, para algo puxado pro Psycore. E projetos que eu gosto do Psycore, é outra resposta?
Não, eu vou só traduzir essa. So that influences come from metal, hardcore, and she studies a lot of musical theory and bring that to Psycore, applying that theory. That's grindcore too, and the artists are os artistas são que eu tinha
agora de Psycore.
Isso.
Então, Mal, Necropsycho, Plankton, Yokshua, Luli, Deuscore, Obscurum, Nala, Ana Lua também.
Those are projects that she has like inspirations.
Oh, nice.
So it's Luli, Necropsycho, like you, everybody listen up.
Yeah, I know some of these names. Personally, I've been more into the in the hardcore techno scene, but I also play a bit in the psycore scene. Here in Finland, it's very, very small, like not so popular. But me and some few other people are trying to organize some small parties sometimes.
Nice.
I think here in Europe, Psycore, it's mostly in maybe like Germany, east of Germany. I have played there one time in a Psycore party, our own stuff. I have never been to South America or Brazil, but when I see the videos from the festivals and stuff, it looks like there is like quite many people at these Psycore parties. It's very nice to see.
Really, the parties here have a lot of peoples and peoples like that kinds of music here.
Yeah.
And
os brasileiros são muito alegres, entusiastas, e a música em si no Brasil é muito marcada. Então,
so here in Brazil have a lot of funny and energy, enthusiasm, and the music here is very important for the people, you know.
As pessoas são mais abertas, aqui é mais calor, então as pessoas pulam mesmo, ficam felizes, toma chuva, não tem tanto problema com isso.
So she told here is a more hot place and people like to dance, to jump, and are totally open to have that energy and feel the music and manifest your accents in the music.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, we think here in Brazil that kind of peoples make the new kinds of music have power.
Se ele quiser vir pra cá, pode ficar aqui em casa.
So she told if you want to come to Brazil, you can stay here at house with us.
Yeah, I definitely want to come sometime. And also welcome to visit here. We can make something, underground party or something.
Okay.
So like here in my local scene, like in the local Psytrance underground, I think two of the most popular styles are high-tech and Suomisaundi. I don't know, do you know Suomisaundi?
No.
So it's like Finnish Psytrance. It's very like comedic, like parody kind of Psytrance. It's a very, very specific vibe. Some people, one of my friends who is a breakcore artist, compares Suomisaundi Psytrance to breakcore because people mash up lots of songs and it's more like a funny kind of Psytrance, I guess.
Isso fica mais pro BCT, assim. BCT faz mais paródias e sátiras e Elvenfolk é um pouco mais sério.
She are comparing that scene with the B.C.T.CORE sounds. Like make more parody, have the breakcore too and the sets, and can work it together. That style with a little of B.C.T.CORE. It's in the same line. And she told Elvenfolk it's more seriously, you know, like make a serious psycore who work in your spiritual things and manifest things. So.
But okay, the Suomisaundi style, it's quite soft music, I would say. Some is a bit faster, but most it's quite a bit slower and softer compared to Psycore. I like Psycore a lot more, but it's like very, very underground here. So I'm one of the few people here who are DJing some Psycore. I often have many tracks from South America and Brazilian artists in my DJ sets.
Aqui é assim também, só que de uma forma maior. Existem as festas comerciais, que tem Psytrance, prog.
Here, it's a little similar than Finland, but it's a more big country, so have more space to have more public. You know, for the parties. And have the most popular parties here, it's with proggy, full on, forest.
Essas coisas mais comerciais.
That's more commercial things have a lot here too.
I think it's the same here with those styles.
E aí tem as festas menores, que são mais undergrounds e estão ganhando mais espaço atualmente e conseguindo fazer festas de 24 horas a 3 dias com um público de 300 pessoas, 400 pessoas.
So here have the other scene, Psycore scene, who have more little parties with like 30, 40, 50 people for like 2 days. And the sounds, it's only Psycore, and now it's having more power. It started that power before the pandemic, but now it's coming again with new persons, new artists. It's coming powerful that new year.
Nice. So my first touch to the South American Psycore, I think it was, do you know Apuruami Records from Mexico?
Sim.
She knows who it is.
Yeah. So this was my kind of first touch to the darkpsy and Psycore from South America. But then I discovered more from Brazil and other.
What Brazilian artists do you know?
Well, Elvenfolk, of course, and Black Phillip, is he from Brazil?
Oh, Black Phillip? Mateus. It's our friend.
Ele mora até aqui perto, assim.
She lives near here in the beach too, because we live in a beach city, and he also. It's like 1 hour from here.
And yeah, I just know some labels like Strapped Freak Records, and I don't remember.
It's our friend also.
Nice.
And of course Ingrid. Do you know Ingrid? I think she's doing more singing, yeah.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah. She was also on my label. I started this new label, Ydinväki.
Oh, that's cool. Very cool. Yeah, you will have a good knowledge from here. Great artists. Stupid Freaky, it's pretty cool. Have great artists there.
Tem outras gravadoras aqui que seriam Lilith Crew, Cosmic Crew, Pachamama, Anakan Crew. Todas essas trazem bastante pessoas de fora aqui. E tem algumas crews um pouco menores. As crews mais menores, eles chamam mais artistas nacionais, porque tem bastante artistas aqui no Brasil. E essas maiores já conseguem trazer algumas pessoas gringas aqui.
So she told about another labels who have here. It's like Lilith Crew,
Cosmic
Crew, Pachamama. That's crews. Bring some international DJs to play here too, and have the most little ones who make parties here only with national artists. And the labels like Stupid Crew play a lot here in Brazil in that kinds of parties. And Lilith Crew make big parties. Like 4 years ago, they made it a party of like 4 days only with Psycore. With a lot of national artists and international artists. If I remember, played Plankton, Aluli, quem mais que veio?
Vocês já trouxeram muita gente.
They had bring a lot of Psycore artists from the world from here. Mirror Me too. Was very good. Cindervomit also was a great party. Was called Namas Trevas. Trevas is darkness, like Namas Darkness was the party. Pretty cool.
Wow. So, like, if we go back in history, like, about like the development of Psycore and darkpsy scene in Brazil, like, do you know when did it start and how did it come so popular there?
Em 2011, 2012, eu já estava indo em festas, e eu me lembro do Chorão, do Molina, fazendo festas mais undergrounds na cidade, em lugares que seriam como baladinhas, e... depois eu continuo.
So, like in 2011, 12, she started to go in the parties, and that time, have like a DJ called Chorão and Molina, who in that year started to make little parties with Psycore, darkpsy, forest.
E no meio da cidade e tal.
And that parties happened in little place inside the city, like little indoors, in some places, in middle of São Paulo, in the middle of big city, little parties of Psycore starting to happen.
E os públicos começaram a aumentar, começou a sempre ter gente, movimentação, e aí as crios começaram a sentir que poderiam avançar mais, alugando chácaras e começando a fazer festas maiores.
So then it started to have more people going to that parties, and like 1-2 years, the new crews started and see in that movement power to grow, and then they started to go to the farms. To make parties in middle of forest, in middle of nature, because here, nature, it's like ever present in parties.
E as pessoas começaram a ir, e muitos vão por causa que os amigos vão, outros vão porque realmente gostam, outros vão também por causa de moda, porque realmente isso está ficando um pouco de moda aqui. E as festas, enquanto tá tendo público, vão fazendo cada vez maiores enquanto tiver público.
So then the parties start to grow a lot, and the public start to go with friends, So the friends told, hey, come to the party to know that kind of music. And people go to that party and have whole reels like and feel that energy. Have the people who go only because the friends go too, but go together. And now the scene now have started to be like hype, you know, and a lot of younger people started to go to that parties because it's hype, it's good, it's different. And here in Brazil, different things have a lot of power, and that scene, it's too much different. Have that dark energy, dark appearance, dark feelings. And people here like that feelings, you know, like embrace it for the shadows and like that. And that's having a lot of power now after pandemic.
This kind of dark aesthetic, do you know where it comes from in your Brazilian culture or surroundings? Like, does that influence it somehow, or how does that kind of, does the environment show somehow in the parties and the music?
Eu sinto, particularmente, assim, que a questão popular aqui do Brasil vem de uma perspectiva mais chucra. Não é necessariamente chucra, é difícil de se traduzir. Uma perspectiva mais superficial. Não tão intensa, essa coisa do popular. Mas acaba que as pessoas sentem uma necessidade mais de ser diferente desse público que é a maioria e acabam sendo um pouco mais dark. Aí depois eu complemento da questão energética.
Tá. So, the big party of our country have a culture not too much focused on that. And, I don't know, young people, it's like ever looking for new and be different. And she feel that feeling for be different starts to bring persons to that scene. Can you understand?
Yeah. I think so.
Agora, a minha perspectiva de questão mais espiritual,
more spiritual question,
que aqui existe duas grandes religiões, Umbanda e Candomblé.
So about the spiritual scene, here in Brazil have two big religions, Catholics and Umbanda and Candomblé. I don't know if you know, it's African religions who started here in Brazil. It's called Umbanda, a very good one, and it's too much biggie, and Candomblé.
E dentro dessas religiões existem duas perspectivas, generalizando, a direita e a esquerda.
And that religions have two perspectives of energies, like the right and the left. The lights and the shadows, something figurative like that.
E essa esquerda, ela é mais dark, ela é mais sombrosa, e isso acaba tendo uma questão mais chamativa, talvez.
And that left have a dark mist, and that darkness from the left here, it's like something in the law. It's a way to work then in that religion, you know. The left and the darkness, it's a way to work for the big plan, something like that.
E essa esquerda, ela traz a questão mais de proteção, de guarnição, de seres mais bestiais que protegem a luz. E isso é uma das formas espirituais que eu acho que o Psycore ele canaliza um pouco.
That left have like a guarnition, like guardians, like prayers, like magic, and that figures, that persons, spiritual persons who work in that energy, bring protection, bring good energies, and she feel like the Psycore and that energies work together. With the Psycore, you can bring that energy from protection, from the shadows, from old guardians, old priestesses to the music.
And you also have like many indigenous tribes, like in the Amazon area. And does that kind of folk spirituality influence you too? If it has influence on your music or in the Psycore scene as a whole?
A natureza em si, ela carrega essas energias, né? Então, a lua, a noite, então tudo tá na mesma coisa. Então, digamos que sim.
So, that natural force, that natural power come from every manifest in the nature, like sun, like the moon, and everything work together, and every influence come from nature, from Amazon, from all of that.
E a gente geralmente faz festas em sítios em que o pessoal fica descalço, sentindo a terra, olhando para o céu, olhando as estrelas. Então existe toda uma energia ali que quem tiver mais conectado talvez tenha uma percepção de despertar ou expansão.
So, like here we made it, the parties ever in the nature, and people stay in that places with no shoes, with like open it to feel the nature, and that connections ever come from every sides, from the nature and energies, powers, something like that.
I was wondering if there is like some, collaboration with native tribes who have also their own kinds of music. At least I hear some like samples sometimes in Psycore, especially from Brazil, like ritual folk music.
Legal, cool. It's a great perspective. So,
eu creio que conforme a humanidade evolui, as pessoas...
She believes like the humanity starts the evolution.
As pessoas se vejam e se entendam, tendo mais autoconhecimento e olhando para dentro.
She thinks if the person start to transform herself, looking inside, looking in the eyes of yourself, themselves.
E assim, as pessoas começam a ver e entender a sua ancestralidade física e espiritual.
She believes if the peoples look in that way, she can start to recognize the ancestral things.
E assim acabam encontrando certas deidades, mitologias e às vezes religiões. E dentro disso, quem encarnou no Brasil, sem querer querendo, tem deidades brasileiras que vêm da Umbanda ou do Candomblé.
She thinks the persons have their ancient lines inside their souls. And when you born in a country, that country have an energy who will be in yourself. Anyway, you have the influences from that earth when you're born. And here, who borns here in Brazil have that influences from Umbanda and Candomblé.
E além disso,
and more,
isso está também no nosso inconsciente coletivo da população.
Yeah, it's pretty complicated to can explain that what Giovanna told them, because our like big ideas from the spiritual sense, because we study some things and talk about that. It's pretty complicated sometimes. Yeah. Sorry for don't find the words. But posso falar?
Pode falar do seu jeito.
So I will try to explain. Music here come with that tribal influences. because the tribal things here is very present. We have a lot of spiritual movements like who works with ayahuasca, rapé, that are florets medicines. The persons like us, more younger, more opened to the new influence in the world and from spiritual things, have contacted. And the persons who goes to the Psycore fest for the rituals of Psycore just have a little of that feeling, just have that contact. And ayahuasca, for example, a lot of people here drink to have more contact with the ancient things, and that comes from Amazonia, comes from that that power of nature, totally real, who has here, and that influences our music. It's like here in South America, it's very tribal and have that power of tribal who works with us a lot of times every day. And that's totally amazing. It's totally present here. So,
E trazendo pra música, então a gente coloca batuque,
and bring to the
tambor,
music.
sons, cantos.
So, and bring that to the music. A lot of artists put singing from that, but sound, samples, with that kinds of sounds.
The name Elvenfolk, where does that come from for you? Or what's the inspiration for this name?
Então, na realidade foi uma pesquisa que nós fizemos e às vezes as pessoas falam que eu pareço um elfo, então eu pesquisei e vi que, tipo, Elvenfolk quer dizer pessoas descendentes de povos élficos. E aí eu coloquei, se fosse para inventar um nome agora, talvez eu ia escolher outra coisa. Mas eu criei um tempo atrás e agora eu criei esse nome e agora vai continuar assim.
That names come from a research that we made it together in internet just for have the first inspirations. And people here told Giovanna looks like an elven. She have an elven face and way to be, and have that influence. And elven folks, it's something like persons who come from the elven persons. And that was the first inspirations. But if she have to give a name now, maybe it will be another name, because that makes some time.
You were talking about that kind of the energy of the place influences the music, and I think here in Finland we have like history of shamanism. So it comes from Siberia and some parts of Asia originally, and then people migrated here to Northern Europe, and some of my ancestors, they still had that connection to the shamanism, and then it turned into more like spell, kind of like witchcraft, but something similar to that. In my music and some other people's music, you can hear this also.
Perfect.
So it's a great way to work.
I'm wondering, like in your local different spiritual groups, is there something in the practices which is related to shaking, like shaking your body?
Alguma coisa fixa e padronizada não necessariamente, mas acontece que é uma manifestação visceral do momento, assim, não tem nenhuma coisa fixa.
Mas, tipo assim, uma dança tribal, sabe? Tipo, brasileira mesmo, que ajude nisso. Tem alguma relação?
Acho que não tem muito a ver.
Não necessariamente.
Acho que não tem muito a ver.
Not necessary like that. But I have the things, but not in the party specifically. Don't have a lot of influence of that.
Okay. Yeah, it's just interesting because these rituals are in many cultures around the world, and it's interesting how it kind of combines with the music of today, which is very fast and also related to shaking.
Eu acho que a questão de você deixar uma pulsação repetitiva te faz ter uma percepção rítmica que automaticamente é manifestada no corpo.
When you repeat fast music with the sounds who made the same at the same time, so that's bring energy from yourself who have connection with that in the place.
É isso. É uma vibração repetitiva que te faz manifestar no corpo sensorialmente, inconscientemente.
So she thinks that dance come from you because the music stay there making the sounds, make the shaking, you know. When started the music, you feel that inside you and it's too faster and you stay in that connection and that make like a tribal connection with the dance who comes from no one knows but stay there making you manifest yourself.
Que a música é uma linguagem, né? Então também conversa com o nosso cérebro, assim.
So the music have a way to talk with your brain, and that it's from the energies.
We are in a very interesting time of human history when we have this kind of music. It's like quite new. I mean, it's like fast music has always existed, but now we are like making it with electronics, and you can kind of push the limits more.
E o interessante disso é que fazendo eletronicamente e não organicamente te faz alcançar outras frequências que na mão, no braço, no pulso, a gente não ia conseguir.
So making that in the electronic way, you can bring another dimensions, another vibrations whose our body never can make it happen. And with that new frequencies, new vibrations, we are knowing new things, new ways to express new things.
Yeah, sure.
Então é uma coisa bem nova era, bem atual e bem futurística. Né?
That's totally new era, futuristic, and have the incident energy also at the same time, but it's totally new, totally futuristic.
Com ancestralidade e passado.
I also hear, well, we already talked about this, but I hear a lot of like this organic sound of the nature and the instruments, especially like lots of your tracks, they are like very intense and very fast, but there is a certain kind of smoothness because, like, for example, high-tech music, it's very synthetic sounding often, and sometimes there is some sounds which are a bit annoying for me, but in for example, your music and some other Brazilian psycore artists, I hear this kind of smoothness. So is that kind of intentional?
Fez uma vertente, né? Pessoas que gostam desse sintético, desses leads, dessas marcações, e pessoas que gostam de mais coisas ambientais, algo que abraça mais e sons mais sombrios e leves, assim.
So, Giovanna see that like two kinds of persons who like that synthetic things, that electronic things, and who embraces the organic, like the nature sounds, that dark sounds, organic sounds, and Psycore embrace that other people's, cause like who like too much high tech don't like too much Psycore and like who like Psycore don't like too much high tech. Like two kinds of persons, and that's it.
Tem aquele que gosta de tudo, né?
And have the 30 kind of person who like everything and let's dance cause have parties.
Tem muitos aqui do Brasil que são assim também.
In Brazil, have a lot of that persons who go to the party and don't mind what is playing, just mind dance and stay there dancing like no ending. So, three kinds of persons.
There is like maybe one or two artists who are experimenting with Psycore now, but there is not many releases so far from Finland. But I hope that in the future there will be more.
Espero também.
I hope that too.
For the time being, I'm playing some South American Psycore here as a DJ.
Tem bastante aqui.
In South America, have a lot of Psycore DJs. If in Finland they wanted to make some party, call it to Brazil. We have a lot.
Yeah, we should have more visitors, like Psycore visitors here. It's still very small scene, but yeah, I hope we can make it happen.
Yeah, you will make that happen. We hope that too.
We have more like a longer tradition of Speedcore, but not so much of Psycore yet.
Aqui é pouco ao contrário.
So here we don't have a lot of Speedcore scene, for example. It's not too much really. Some artists from Psycore play Speedcore sometimes. Alguns artistas de Psycore
tocam alguns isso.
As pessoas gostam.
Sim.
The people from here like.
Mas se fizesse uma festa só disso,
but
eu não
if
sei
we
se
have only Speedcore, we don't know if the people will go to really like it, you know.
So how does that kind of show at the Psycore parties? Is there sometimes some like Speedcore or hardcore DJs or artists who play at the Psycore festivals, or is it like smaller parties or something?
É pouco difícil, mas eu já vi acontecer de friendcore. Rolê que teve 2 DJs de friendcore e acho que um até era gringo, se não me engano. Mas foi pouco difícil de acontecer. É pouco difícil mesmo.
It's like here we don't have parties who works with Speedcore and hardcore. Giovanna told some time ago she saw just two DJs who played Frenchcore, you know.
Okay.
On that, it's pretty hard happen parties with Speedcore and hardcore in that way here.
Tem mais festivais de hardcore na gringa, assim, mais assim. Aqui não tem, que nem eles fazem lá.
Like happen in Europe, hardcore festivals, we don't have it here, really. We have more Psycore fests and like we told night sounds, you know, it's like night parties that we have here too, which have the Travertans, have forest, darkpsy, and Psycore and experimental in that night parties. But not that.
But the music has lots of influences from Speedcore too, or at least the tempo is very fast, like in some Psycore tracks. So do you think that the people would be open for some maybe like psychedelic hardcore or Speedcore music?
Eu acho que sim, mas aos poucos, sabe? Uma horinha de ou colocando
passinho por passinho.
Aos poucos, não uma festa só disso, assim.
She thinks if we go step by step, come slowly with more speedcores and hardcore, the peoples will accept too good like they like Psycore too. But need to come step by step, you know.
Yeah.
I like Psycore there.
Can maybe talk about the parties more. So do you have some favorite party experiences, like where you played or where you were just a visitor? Small party or festival?
Teve sets que eu toquei que eu gostei bastante de ter feito, que foi no Cult of Core. Eu acho que é um dos mais da hora que eu toquei.
She thinks one of the most cool parties where she played a set was the Cult of Core. There's a name of a festival that we have here from Lilith Crew, and she loves to play that.
Teve outros momentos, assim, de como público, de perceber que a música estava realmente chegando de uma forma mais energética no público.
And when she goes like a dancer, not to play, she likes to feel when the music comes to the persons and how the persons express the music. It's a very interesting way to see the parties. É isso, mas não tem uma experiência específica?
Não,
tipo, uma festa complexo. Muito legal que você gostou de, tipo, muito.
Um dos Cindervomit, vai. Cindervomit foi muito incrível que a gente viu os ETs, pode falar disso.
Well, have a good history. When Cindervomit make a ritual here quando foi? 2018?
Acho que sim.
In 2018. So we was there and was a very good party. He plays like 24 hours. And in that party, we saw a UFO, you know?
Yeah.
Like aliens in the sky. We saw that and was like, whoa, you know, was pretty cool.
Você tem que explicar que a gente viu uma luz que...
Nossa, sim, eu vou explicar tudo isso.
Não vai explicar, então tudo bem.
No, have a long history with that. It's like the light come in the skies and make a circular thing and goes... was pretty cool and not was a trippy. We was totally sane. Don't was a trippy. It was real, really.
Maybe you were like summoning the UFOs with the music or something.
Foi no começo da noite, a gente tinha acabado de chegar. A gente não tinha nem tomado nada, tava tranquilo.
Was in the first 3 hours in the party. Like we arrived and the music start and was 7 o'clock, I think. Was pretty cool and have a lot of music energy in that moment too. was cool.
Nice. I would like to know more about like the locations. So it started kind of in Sao Paulo, and was it the smaller parties? Do you have them in like clubs, like official clubs, or more like underground private venues? Is it kind of like an illegal party or like a club party?
São legalizados, aqui é liberado fazer festa, só que precisa dos documentos, dos alvarás e tudo mais. E algumas festas que são bem grandes, a gente sabe...
Começou assim.
Não, sempre foi liberado, só que precisa dos documentos, sempre precisou disso.
É muito difícil ter festa ilegal pra cá, né?
Que é meio suave.
It's like here it's too easy make the parties. We don't have like a lot of legal problems, you know. Have some problems, but it's too easy to make parties. That little parties was not illegal. It's all happened okay, and we just had some street parties too. with some psychores and dark music too. Was pretty cool. It's easy make parties here if you have the documents. It's called alvará. I don't know how to say in English, but it is the document for make the parties here.
Okay. So you ask kind of a permission from the police or something like that, or some authorities.
Yeah. It's that documentation that you have it, but it's not hard to have. You need to pay some tax and talk with the politician.
Em festas muito grandes e famosas existe às vezes tem comboio e eles fazem e pegam as drogas das pessoas que estão indo, né?
Isso. When have big parties, sometimes the police stay near, to make like to see who are with drugs, and they stay near to the parties to see that. It's not cool.
E a polícia aqui ela é meio corrupta, então existe também muita, né? Como que dizer isso?
Like the police here, everyone's money and have a lot of underground scene in that police nears of big parties. So in all that places, the smaller parties happen in nightclubs, in bars, in private places, in the streets sometimes. Have all that scenes.
So there was Sao Paulo, but like how many different locations are these parties held at? Like because Brazil is a big country, so like is it mostly around the bigger cities, or are they also like very far away in the nature somewhere? Like if you talk about festivals.
Falando porque é um país muito grande, é mais localizado no centro, né? Tipo São Paulo. Isso, tipo Curitiba, Paraná.
Curitiba, Paraná, Santa
Então
Catarina.
Estamos tentando ensinar o público do norte, né? Tipo de Minas, de Brasília, começar a gostar desse público. Tem algumas festas marcadas para essas regiões.
Mas tipo assim, as festas em si mesmo acontecem mais em lugares afastados das capitais.
Sim.
Né? The parties here have more in the states of São Paulo, Paraná, Santa Catarina, and now it's starting to have more parties in another states like Goiás, Minas Gerais, Brasília. But the parties happen ever far away from the big cities, the rituals and big festivals. Small parties happen pretty near of the big cities, but the real big ones, the rituals happen far away from big cities. It's always in the middle of nature, without a lot of cities, have more nature inside, and that's it. Sorry.
Nice. And is there any challenges organizing these festivals somewhere very far away, or is it more easier compared to the smaller parties near the cities?
As festas são feitas meio que perto das capitais, só que em cidades mais interiораnas, né? E os que são nas capitais são geralmente indoors.
Inside the big cities happen the indoors, and sometimes it's easy or hard to make it. And the festivals, it's like near from the big city, like São Paulo, but it's another cities, Cities like have 2 hours to go from São Paulo to that festival. You want to know if it's more easy to make the parties inside the city or in the far away from the big cities?
Yeah, I mean, is there some challenges like, I don't know, maybe with local people or the logistics?
Do sul para São Paulo, não, apenas sotaque. E de Minas, Brasília, já tipo, tem uma diferença de
E
público.
tipo das que acontece dentro da cidade, pros festivais. É o mesmo público.
Mesmo público.
So, it's like it's the same public in the big cities, and the festivals are ever the same public and don't have a lot of challenge. Only the accent when the parties are in Santa Catarina or São Paulo, because have different accents. Some people speak in another way because here is very big. So have a lot of ways to talk Portuguese. That's the most different thing that happen.
But are they these big festivals in the nature? Are they like close to any villages or like residential areas? Is there any challenges with that, or do they kind of talk with them, the organizers?
Mano, não tem muita diferença. Tipo, o que diferencia é quanto a festa investe em estrutura e em região, e as que não tem tanta grana pra fazer e fazem uma coisa mais simples.
Mas tem uma diferença, tipo assim, que nem uma festa que você vai perto de Foz do Iguaçu, a geologia é uma. Uma que você vai mais pro interior.
Existem os picos de investimento, tipo um Goagil, ele consegue fazer uma festa nos canyons, entendeu? Então acaba tendo uma diferença geológica aí. E existem festas menores que não vai conseguir fazer no mesmo lugar, então ele pega um sítio um pouco mais suave que só tem uma piscininha ali.
When Goagil, you know who is Goagil, the old man who plays, whoever come to Brazil to make rituals, like the label who brings Goagil can pay to have a party in a wonderful place here in Brazil because they have money to pay that place, you know, and that make a more big and beautiful experience for who's go there. And like small parties don't have too much money to pay totally wonderful and with structure places, and so that small parties happen in more small places, small farms, still having the nature, beautiful decoration, but not it's not like a very big waterfall in middle of the festival, you know. That things happen when have money to pay, and big parties happen at places, and that I think is the most different thing between that parties.
Okay. Here in Finland, we have a very short summer. It's like 3 months. It's like the hot season kind of, and like a outdoors party season is maybe like maximum 4 or 5 months, I guess, but usually not so long. So do you have like any specific seasons, like when the parties happen, or is it like around the whole year if we talk about like outdoor parties?
É o ano inteiro, e se estiver chovendo, vai na chuva mesmo.
So here in Brazil, we have summer all the year. Where it's very hot, have a very good clean seasons here. All seasons here, you can go outside without freezing your hands and your feet. The only problem is when rain, you know, and if have rain, we stay there in the rain and the party will happen anyway all the year. Have more parties in February because it's Carnaval. I don't know how to say in English, Carnival.
Okay.
So and that month have more days parties, with a week. Because here in Brazil, Carnival, it's time to party. So But problems with seasons, we don't have it. Like you can see, we are with her butt exposed because now it's autumn, but still hot like in spring.
Yeah.
That's very good.
So you don't have like really, really long rain seasons, or it depends?
We have it. We have long rain seasons. Like in March, now we have like 10 days with rain. Janeiro, né? A gente tem bastante chuva.
Mas é uma chuva de verão, é rápida.
But summer rain, you know? Summer rain, it's like rain and then come the sun. It's okay.
Tudo isso ajuda que o país ter mais público e ter mais festas. Né?
All of that help us to have more social contact. Because it's a tropical country and the seasons help us to have that connections, to make festivals outdoor, you know.
Yeah,
that's very
really
good.
Cool.
Yeah.
And that you do it in anyway, even if there is rain.
Yeah. Anyway, if there's rain, we go there. Like make 15 days, we was in a party and rain a lot, but we stayed there dancing and listen good music. Was pretty cool.
Do you have any experiences of playing or just visiting some parties in other countries?
Ainda não, mas tem convites, tem algumas pessoas que eu tô conversando para Portugal, para o Chile, mas nada formado ainda. E a pandemia atrapalhou muito isso. Se não tivesse a pandemia, talvez já teria saído.
So, Giovanna's never go outside Brazil, but have some invitations to play in Portugal, Chile, e no México, India, Mexico. And before the pandemic, have more invites to that. But when happened all the COVID, it stopped a little, and now it started again to see that invitations, what will happen. But she wants too much go to playing in other places. So if you in Finland once, Elvenfolk zone.
Yeah, if you visit Europe, then it's. I also have some friends in Berlin and some other countries, so it would be a good idea maybe to do a tour or something like that.
Oh, great! Thank you. That's amazing.
Berlim
é da hora. So that's cool.
Is there some scene or country where you would like to visit the most from what you have seen online or something?
Não especificamente, mas acho que Portugal, Califórnia, que é uns que já tava conversando, mas não especificamente, acho que toda experiência é válida na realidade.
So not specifically, because all the experience to go outside and meet new peoples, new cultures is a good way to know more about and experience more, you know. But she just wanted to meet Portugal and California.
Okay. Do you know if there is some Psycore in California? Like, I only know Luli, but I don't know if there is a scene.
Então, eu não tenho certeza se o Cinder é de lá. Eu tava com contato, mas através da agência, então eu não sei direito, não tenho tanta propriedade para dizer, assim.
So she had a contact from there. Here in Brazil, had a label called Cali Bookings. Cali Bookings,
existe mais, então
but don't exist more. And that label was seeing a party for some Psycore artists from here play in California, but we don't have a lot of information about that scene there. We only know about Luli too, and that's it. And we don't have totally true if Cindervomit was from there too, but I think have some scene. maybe, because if have some party to play, so have some.
Acho que também
something.
grávida, Velasco. Talvez
Não,
eles
ela é
não.
da Suíça, não.
Tá.
That's it.
Yeah, I just don't hear so much about it online, or maybe it's very local, I don't know. But yeah, there's some artists, I know that. In your local scene, it seems that like many people like this like very fast psycore music. So is it always easy to get people to dance to this kind of very fast music, or was it always like this in the history, or did it kind of develop that people became more open-minded to the faster music? Or did the people just kind of immediately get the idea and go crazy?
E eu acho uma das coisas mais importantes na festa é as caixas de som. Tendo umas caixas de som boas, já pode começar o acelero assim que as pessoas vão ficando.
Rapidinho. Giovanna was told about like the sound system. If you have a good sound system, you can start immediately the fast music because the persons will respond. As faster you play, as faster the people respond that dancing. So if you have good sound systems, because bad sound systems don't make the same result. Because, we started to play and will sounds like a bee, like zzz, and the people don't really understand too easy the music. But when you have a very good sound, you can play your Speedcore, your Psycore, and the peoples will like it. Person from Brazil like too much music. We have that like tattoo in our soul, and we love it music too much.
Yeah. So I think that we also need to somehow talk our big festival organizers that they need to book more Speedcore and Psycore to the like big sound systems, and don't put them on the small stage, but put them on the big stage so people will understand the music better. Yeah.
Exatamente, exactly that.
No main floor.
Exatamente. Need to be in the main floor. It's exactly that. When you put that faster music in the main floor, the people will understand what is that. Because the main floor have the best sound system.
E a crítica também, ela vai existir, né? Vai sempre ter críticas.
Ever will happen who don't really like it, but need to try to have results.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I just want to send greetings to our local Cosmos Festival. Please listen to this advice.
Okay.
What are some of your favorite festivals or parties or crews that if somebody is traveling to Brazil, what do you recommend them to check out if they like some Psycore and stuff like that?
De projeto.
Projects.
Nala, Cosmo Freak, Mal, Ana Lua, ai, não sei se tem algum que você gosta também.
Daqui, o B.C.T.CORE.
B.C.T.CORE, obviously.
B.C.T.CORE. Elvenfolk.
Of course.
Acho que é isso. Né? That Projects. And
não tô me lembrando muito.
Crios.
Trance Group, Cosmic Crew, Lilith Crew, Anakan, o Stupid Freak. Pachamama também. Sanatório também é só brasileiros, né? Aí são os menores. Dark Fishery. Todas são tipo interessantes.
All that crews are interesting.
Porque todas se empenham naquilo pra fazer da melhor forma. Então todas vai ter alguma coisa muito legal assim.
All that crews have good things. If you go to see will be a lot of good artists and that's. E agora festas.
Várias.
Cult
Cult of Core, Damas Trevas, Elementorium, que eles são bem organizados e fazem uma coisa muito assim, íntima no público.
Elementorium is a very good party who happens in Rio Grande do Sul, very near to Chile and Argentina. It's very good party. A lot of days.
Eles pensam nas crianças.
They think about the children. If you have, you can go with your family. You go to have food. A very good place to stay. It's very
das festas que colocam sempre opções veganas.
Have
assim,
vegan foodies too.
E que se preocupe com o público, não só com o dinheiro.
Like she likes the parties when the organization focuses on the persons and not on the money, who have options to everyone. Vegan food, children's place,
lugar de acampamento
a
decente,
good camping place,
banheiros limpos,
a good bathroom, clean, and that.
Existem festas que não pensam muito nisso, mas aí eu não acho ético falar nomes, entendeu?
So have parties who don't think about persons, only about money. And she don't want to talk about that parties because you don't go to say that names.
Yeah, we can mention the good ones. You also have said that you have some speedcore influences. So how did you discover speedcore and the more like hardcore techno side of music? And like, do you have some favorite labels or artists or?
Não me recordo, não tenho nenhum, sinceramente.
Aquele dos trans,
Antigenalistic. Antigenitália. Antigenetic.
Ai, não sei pronunciar. We don't know how to pronounce the name. It's pretty complicated.
Antigenitália. Tipo assim, eu gosto mais, assim, se for pra escolher dessas outras vertentes, do Breakcore. Breakcore eu gosto.
So, she told if have to talk about a kind of more speed music, that different speed music, she like more breakcore. But speedcore like it also, but don't remind the names of projects, but have some in SoundCloud like it. But she really likes breakcore.
Yeah, breakcore was nice.
More than speedy.
You mentioned antigenitalia. Maybe do you mean like Dell? Do you mean Dell F64?
Yes. This.
Yeah, it's my friends from Berlin.
Really?
Well, they have played at my party one time here, and I also played with at the same party where they played in Germany sometimes.
Pretty nice. They are amazing. Pretty good.
With the instrument, it's like electroacoustic speedcore.
Speedcore. She know that. Really like it.
Mano, só de hoje também. Tudo nas redes sociais.
She know about they and SoundCloud and social medias.
Black Phillip.
With the Black Phillip, they are together and listen together.
A gente
troca
bastante projetos. Com músicas e influências.
Elvenfolk and Black Phillip have a friendship, and they, when someone know about a new project, send it to the other, and likewise,
Nice. And you said that you like breakcore more, so do you have some favorite breakcore artists?
Não tenho nenhum favorito. Não me lembro.
Giovanna's don't remember the names. So she are from PC sign, and sometimes the names go from away. Yeah, don't remember names. Giovanna's aren't good with names. Sorry.
No problem. How do you see the future of your project, like both projects, Elvenfolk and B.C.T.CORE?
Eu foco bastante em aprender cada vez mais mix e master. Na questão visual, eu quero começar a fazer uns videoclips de Psycore, assim, uns videoarts, e expandir cada vez mais isso, tanto do B.C.T.CORE quanto de Elvenfolk, e conseguir apresentar coisas cada vez mais com qualidade e que alcancem cada vez mais ouvidos e corações, assim.
Giovanna's, it's more focused. Now I know more about mix and master and put that to work in future and study more visual music, make like clips, that video arts with Psycore and with some motion design in the music, and see that for the future of the B.C.T.CORE and Elvenfolk, they both going in the more seriously way, having more visual interaction with the persons, like a lot of videos on YouTube and
cool. What are some labels where people can check out your music?
Metal Cortex, Lilith Crew, Karim Bookings, Valhalla Crew, Stupid Freak Crew, Metal Cortex já falei. Tem algumas indianas também. Tem umas 10. Tem umas Dark Fishery and more.
That labels.
Yeah.
Have more on SoundCloud.
Many labels. How do you see the future of your local scene, like the Psycore scene? Do you see it will grow, or what do you see is the direction of the scene at the moment?
Eu acho que cada vez mais as pessoas estão gostando desse tipo de música. Cada vez mais as pessoas estão investindo mais nesse tipo de música. Tem mais gravadoras surgindo com esse tipo de música. Tem mais crios aderindo novos artistas. As pessoas estão incentivando, as pessoas estão escutando, dando cliques, plays. E eu acho que cada vez vai ter mais pessoas que vão aderir isso, e a cena só tem para crescer, assim. Se o governo não cortar, só tem para crescer, assim.
She see the scene growing too much in the next years, because have new crews coming, have new labels, the persons, it's going more to the parties, and if our government don't break with our parties and our freedom, we will grow too much more in next years. That's
nice. Do you have anything else that you would like to say to the people who are watching this interview and the Electric Byway channel?
Eu só digo que as pessoas escutem meus sons, se abram as percepções, deem feedbacks, conversam com quem faz esses tipos de sons. Tentam também, eu acho que todo mundo está muito aberto para ensinar e passar, porque não existe curso para fazer esse tipo de música. Então, é muita comunicação entre as pessoas, é muita troca.
So she told for the people listen her music, listen more Psycore musics, being opened to know about that new sounds, about that new feelings, and still opened because will come more new things in the next years, and
que as pessoas venham comunicar se querem aprender, porque não tem curso. Você falou isso?
Isso não. And it's good the people talk with who make that sounds, with who play that sounds, because don't have courses, ways to study that kinds of music and skills, or academies, and the DJs and who want to be a DJ or a producer and that kinds of music need to talk each other, need to talk with others and give feedbacks and talk better.
Bom, e é isso. Visita minhas páginas. Obrigado por ouvir até aqui. Eu fiquei bem feliz com esse convite e acho que todo mundo tem a crescer com tudo isso.
She told to everyone check her page and she are totally happy for that opportunity, are happy to talking with you, to bring that Psycore scene, to talk about that with other people from Europe, because now it's growing there. It's just a new start, and be part of that. It's totally amazing, and thank you for listening. And sorry if sounds confused sometimes. Our in English, it's a little confused sometimes. Sorry, really.
No problem.
But I think you all can take the idea.
Yeah.
E é muito bom esse trabalho que ele tá fazendo de troca, de perguntas, de como que é aí essa cena, como é aqui essa cena.
She likes your way to talk about the scene there and ask about the scene here, because don't have who make that happen. We don't talk too much. Oh, how is the scene in Europe and some cities, and like the people don't know how is the cities here and how that happened, and that knowledge is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's my motivation to make this channel is because like there is some like techno media in Europe and in the United States and so on, but they only talk about mostly bigger artists who are on booking agencies and like that, and not so much about the underground. So I want to talk about that underground which I experience and like people that I know online and so on.
Continua assim, e o que você precisar da gente, estamos aqui também.
So she told you still in that way, stay true in your way, because that are working and are happen. And thank you for make part of that and still in that way, man. Stay true, because will work and are happen now. You are making connections, and that connections will bring good results.
Yeah, that's the idea. Thank you very much for coming, and I hope that this interview and video will find the right people who need to hear this information.
Exato, também.
Exactly, she think the same.
Yeah.
We hope that video find the right people too.